last fight.
Is this your Chinese kung fu?
What happened?
If you started, I'ma finish.
Wait a minute.
Okay there, Pikachu.
So I'm assuming this is the last time we get to see Ip Man in action.
Unless...
All jokes aside though, I love this series. Each time I've got to see an Ip Man movie, I was definitely excited. And I'm not going to talk about, Final Fight. I don't consider that. That's like dead to me. That's canon. We don't talk about that here in this channel. But all the movies were amazing. Each movie got better as they progressed. And the reason I fell in love with it is just because the choreography, all the fights that was going on, like all the camera work. There's just so much to praise about these movies. And I think it really goes back to just watching pure badass fights that aren't like all the the camera work in some movies is just super shaky, super cutted, super edited. You don't really get to see the art that's really expressed. So Ip Man 4, let's talk about it. So let's talk about some of the negatives. For the first one, I don't really consider this like a big thing in the movie, but I could see mainstream audiences definitely calling it out, and it would be unfair to call it out. Because I do it for other movies too. So basically the biggest thing that I think this movie is flaws is basically it's just too many plots. There's two major plots that are enough to be their own movie, but again they're not really that big to be their own movie, if that makes any sense. And usually each Ip Man movie has this problem where they have the main story that's going on, but later on there's a bigger plot. A lot of movies do this, but Ip Man suffers a lot because they just have so many things going on at the same time, so many character introductions. But that being said though, I don't mind it because a couple reasons. Because it gives you more epic fights, and it turns out that the original thing that he was trying to accomplish ends up being okay, but then later on you're like, dude, this is so worth it. So to me, I think it's worth it to see the wait, but I could definitely see other people not liking that. The second thing I would have to say is the actors, and not all the actors, just the ones who speak English. And the American actors are just, how do you call it? They're not bad. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be this cheesy, but at the same time, it's over the top. It's a bit extra, and to me, it kind of ruins it. That didn't ruin the experience. It made me laugh. I'm not sure if that was their approach, because the whole movie, all the other characters are pretty serious. They're still funny. There's some good comedic lines here and there, but this seems out of place. So let's talk about some of the positives. So the first positive is that each Ip Man movie knows how to get you invested. They know how to basically build up a fight that's been a long time coming. And when it actually the fight goes on, it's so satisfying just to see Ip Man finally deliver and basically beat up these guys. So the second positive I would say is that the pacing. The movie doesn't ever feel too slow. It doesn't feel like there's so much slow time, but there are some parts where, like I said before, it's a really long movie, but it doesn't feel like the pacing doesn't feel that bad, especially because it makes you really care about the characters. And since I guess I've been seeing the first one since the beginning, I really do care about Ip Man, so I think they really did a good job in the last one, just making you care about him so much. So for the third positive is that you could really feel that the directors cared about how each fight scene was shot. And to me, that's really important, because that's mostly what I come to see, the fights, but also the build-ups, it's important too. And the fights are so well done. Each shot, they really don't get lazy with them. They show you each emphasis in each punch. Everything that they do in the movie just to show you how intense the fight is. I think it's just a beautiful art, and honestly, that's a thing that a lot of movies in Hollywood just don't do anymore. There's at least all these fighting movies where they're so quick. There's all these cuts, all these edits, and all these shaky cam work that basically kind of make it feel more of a headache rather than you're watching a movie. And this movie just does such a great job. Anyways, this movie was a great time. I had a lot of fun. If you guys saw the first 3 Ip Man, I think you guys are gonna love these movies. I think it's a really good way to end the series. And for those of you who aren't a big Ip Man following, you guys haven't seen Ip Man at all, I think you guys will still enjoy. It's a little different, from traditional Hollywood movies, but I definitely think you guys would enjoy it. Overall, please go support this movie, go watch it in theaters, and show AMC or your local movie theater that we want more movies like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.